Yeah. All right, I am going to call to order the June 6th meeting of the Montgomery County Election Board. Note the presence of all three members, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any opening board comments? Okay, hearing none, we will move on to comments on items on the agenda. Do you have anyone here for comments on items on the agenda?
I'm gonna be there, actually.
Okay, we do.
Mr. Stein,
Yes, he's
on.
That's a good
Mr.
point.
Stein, just-
Oh, sure.
If you just want to read the rules for public comments, please.
Absolutely. All speakers should sign into the meeting sheet available in the back of the room, or virtually it's indicated by Ms. Co-Francisco. All speakers should come to the podium if they're physically able. Speakers should identify themselves by name and municipality. All public comments must be relevant or germane to county business. Under the law, this means that the subject matter of all comments must be limited to items or issues which are currently before the election board for consideration, or which may come before the election board for consideration at a future meeting. Whether a matter is germane to election board business, a determination to be made by the county solicitor. A time limit of 2 minutes will be monitored, and county staff will respectfully request speakers to conclude their comments if the speaker goes beyond the time allotted. The election board is not required to respond to public comments during the course of the meeting, so the public is reminded this is not an opportunity for dialogue or questions and answers. Election board chair may direct appropriate county staff to follow up on any questions or additional comments after the meeting. Disruptive behavior, including but not limited to yelling from the seats, arguing whether a matter is germane to election board business once the solicitor has made a determination of such, or refusing to yield the floor once time has elapsed and being requested to sit down, shall be grounds for removal or muting from the meeting without further admonishment or warning. As always, commissioners welcome written correspondence, comments, and feedback at commissioners@montcopa.org.
Thank you.
I'm just going to be monitoring the time with my cell phone today, so
Okay.
just so everyone's aware. First, we have Kim Henderson.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kim Henderson, East Norton, 24, precinct 24. The first thing that I would like to say this morning is that I would like to object to this meeting, as there is no publication of this meeting on the county website. I believe that's a violation of the Sunshine Law. If you look, there were people who wanted to attend this meeting this morning. There's no link on the website. There's no information. The only way I knew about it was Ms. Sawyer did respond to my email on Friday, and that's the only reason why I know it's here today. It's very concerning to me, as we the people admit that we've been asleep at the wheel, taking something as precious as our own right and privilege in voting for granted. And that's why I stepped up to volunteer as a Joe for the 2020 primary and general election. As a result of my own experience, I started to question everything, realizing how much I didn't know. Now I realize our voting process in Montgomery County is on a need to know basis, much like today's meeting. That's very concerning to me. Now I need to know everything. This is because every rock I've turned over yields more discrepancy and the exact opposite of transparency. I object to today because I filed 2 claims, and my husband filed a claim about discrepancy on the May 17th election, including an activity that happened at the drop box where numerous people were, one person was dropping at least 10 mail-in ballots into the drop box. A sheriff was present. It was 7:45, just before the mail-in ballots were picked up. And I provided in my claim the make and model of the car, as well as the sheriff's make and model of his, license plate number and car number. That one in particular is very much of a concern to us, because there is such a lack of
Ms. Henderson, your time is up.
transparency. Pardon me?
Ms. Henderson, your time is up.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'll finish my next statement. Thank you. I would like to know about the meeting today being not public.
It was in the newspaper, Kim.
In the newspaper? Okay.
Yes.
It's usually on the website with a
The
link.
agenda is posted on the website as well.
I did not see it on the website.
All right, we're gonna move on. Is there anyone else?
Let me just check. No. For agenda item comments, but we can move on to general, which I believe Kim would like to come back.
Okay, I got Kim Henderson, East Norton. As a poll watcher, a position which should be welcomed, I was treated as an adversary rather than part of the transparent process. And with that, I really took, it was a great honor and privilege to me to be a part of and try to understand every part of our voting process. And I feel like really the people haven't had that opportunity. We don't teach it in school. And I really felt as though it was my duty to be there as a poll watcher. And if we were going to say, yes, our elections are safe, secure, and transparent, then you shouldn't have to be on a wild goose chase to find the ad in the newspaper rather than on the website where every single time that there's a meeting, it's posted, including the link. As much as, actually, I talked to Matt at the in-person, who's the in-person admin for the election. He said to me as a poll watcher at the tabulation center, see, there's no conspiracy. And I never said there was a conspiracy. We're all looking for a safe, secure, and transparent election. And that's why I'm here making comments and raising concerns, because we, the people, demand safe, secure, and transparent elections, and we're not going to go away. So I just want to bring that to everybody's attention. I want to go on record as objecting to today's certification. Thank you very much.
Okay, that concludes our public comment.
Okay, the minutes were not circulated, so we will table that and do that at our next meeting. And our next agenda item is partial certification of the 2022 primary election. Ms. Sawyer.
Good morning, Election Board. The Pennsylvania Election Code requires counties to certify the election results by the third Monday following the election. That makes today the date for certification to the Department of State. Prior to certification, we close our canvass and tabulation results and rest for a 5-day waiting period wherein recount petitions may be filed. We closed last week and we are at the end of the 5-day period. During the course of tabulation, litigation was introduced to compel counties to count absentee and mail-in ballots that were submitted to the county without a handwritten date on the voter's declaration on the return envelope. These ballots were previously rejected by counties per the election code. We were also ordered to conduct a recount in the race for Republican nominee for U.S. Senate by the Secretary of State, as the election statutorily mandates a recount when there is a margin of less than 0.5% in the vote count. At this time, I am asking the board to certify 2 sets of results for the May 17th primary election. The first set includes the undated absentee and mail-in ballot and excludes the results for the Republican nominee for U.S. Senate. The second set excludes the undated absentee and mail-in ballots and the results for Republican nominee for U.S. Senate. We are asking for the second set to be certified in the event additional litigation prevents these ballots from being included.
Okay, thank you. I will make a motion to certify the results for the 2022 primary election, except for the Republican nomination for United States Senate, and to include in that certification 2 reports. 1 report counting undated ballots and 1 report not counting undated ballots. In the event it is found that undated ballots may not be counted as part of the 2022 primary election. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's
By
second.
I'll give it to Judge Wall. The second to Judge Wall. Okay. Any questions for Ms. Sawyer?
Ms. Sawyer, when are we then going to certify the nomination, the Republican nomination for the United States Senate?
That's actually the next agenda item.
Okay, thank you.
And that recount went
Smoothly.
smoothly?
Yeah, nothing really changed. So it was no order of no candidate pulled ahead or fell further behind. It was very, very much the same.
All right, great. Any other questions? All right, hearing none, we will move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion passes. All right, and now we will move on to certification of the recount.
As previously mentioned, we were ordered by the Secretary of State to commence a recount for the Republican nominee for U.S. Senate. We have completed the recount and it did not change the standings of any candidate. In similar fashion as the previous motion, I am asking the board to certify 2 sets of results for this recount. The first set to include the undated absentee and mail-in ballots. The second set excludes the undated and absentee mail-in ballots. We are asking for the second set to be certified in the event additional litigation prevents these ballots from being included.
Thank you. I will make a motion to certify the results of the recount of the 2022 primary election for the Republican nomination for United States Senate, and to include in that certification 2 reports, 1 report counting undated ballots and 1 report not counting undated ballots. In the event it is found that undated ballots may not be counted as part of the 2022 primary election. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Dr. Arkoosh. Any comments, questions for Ms. Sawyer? I'd just like to thank the volunteers that came out to help with the recount and your staff as well. I know this is the second election in a row now that we've been required to do a recount, so I know it extends into.
We have a really solid process now because of that. So it's really like clockwork. Keep it coming.
Any other questions or comments? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? All right, motion passes. And finally, I will make a motion to adjourn the June 6, 2022 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Elections. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Arkoosh. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you.
We need this because I need that.